Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MilsimUnits.com podcast. I'm your host, C. Brock, and with me today we have General Snuchen from the 18th Airborne Corps. General, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I know we got a lot to unpack here. I'm looking forward to getting right into it. Let me ask, as a unit commander here, tell us about your background. What inspired you to get into Milsim?
Um, well, I got on Arma, I'd say like maybe 2 years ago, a little after the launch of Reforger, and I'd play a lot of the PvE stuff. And I'd usually get a good group of guys, and we'd run ops, and just along the way, made a lot of friends doing it. And I got sent out to Europe recently. I'm with Third Infantry Division, and while I've been out here, I just kind of had the idea, had a lot of time on my hands, to try to start a group up. And then at the time when we started it, I was a executive on a server that ran public servers and stuff. They were pretty large, and we started the Milsim through them. So it gave us a huge boost of players. So it was kind of how we started out there.
That's pretty cool. And personally, I come from a Milsim background with the Arma 3 3rd Infantry Division. I'm familiar with the unit, with the 18th Airborne Corps. We've incorporated, the kind of realism aspects into our own gameplay historically. So that's really interesting to hear. So that leads me to ask about the 18th Airborne Corps. What's the story behind the formation there? I mean, it's great up and coming unit. It's kind of structured a little bit differently than some of the other units out there. But tell us how it all got started.
So we ended up starting with just a third ID battalion based off of 164. It's a combined arms. So there's infantry companies with Bradleys, and then we had tank companies. And it was going really good. We had good staff. We had broken away from the people that we started out with. Just didn't see eye to eye on things, so we decided to kind of branch off from them and become more of a just focus on the PVE and the milsim part of it. But I kind of overnight had the idea. This is probably when we were about 200 members. I was like, oh, I want to do something more. There's a lot of groups out there that are, third ID or 82nd. They're all separate groups, and I wanted to become something big. There's a lot of groups out there with thousands of members, but I feel like their biggest problem is that they only care about the numbers. They're not really there for everybody and what everyone's trying to get. With us, we wanted to find a way to expand while also bringing smaller units in with us, giving them the chance to be seen, and everything that way. So I thought, well, 18th Airborne Corps in real life is filled with a bunch of different divisions that all work together. So why not come up with it through Arma? And then the way we started it out was we had obviously our 164 battalion became just 3rd Infantry Division, and then the battalions within the brigade and division for 3rd ID. And then we brought in some other units that were smaller and gave them all of our assets, which is something we're still open to doing. We own all of our servers outright. Good quality, good specs. We've got paid advertisement everywhere. So all these smaller units that are coming in, getting access to all of our assets, and it helps them grow throughout us.
Yeah, that's really great. I mean, you're providing an opportunity here for like you said, for these smaller units. And I know it's a struggle out there. Running any unit is difficult. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be hardships that you need to overcome. But pulling together different units and providing resources to them, I mean, that's pretty admirable. That's really what we want to see in Milsim. And I mean, everyone on the show, or a lot of people on the show, a lot of people in the audience, they really enjoy that combined arms, gameplay, whether it's PVE, PVE for that, PvP for that matter. Adding that kind of those different dimensions into the mix is what makes the Armaverse and Milsim in general so exciting. That's really great. What tell me a little bit about some of these smaller units. What kind of units have you worked with, and what are you looking for in the future in terms of growth and development?
A lot of these smaller units, we do have requirements that have to be met. So our main Discord, like the hub, is the 18th Airborne Corps. Then each one of our divisions is another Discord server. That way, it's more organized. When they come in, they have to, agree to the way we kind of run things, how everything's structured, which is not very strict. We leave a lot of the, choices up to the command team. Like, say, for example, a new unit comes in. Depending on their size, will there be a company or a battalion that comes in and they maintain their leadership and the way they're running things. They just do it through us. We benefit by, having more people for operations and everything, and they benefit by the same thing, helping them grow through us. Um, and units that we look for, pretty much just any army-based unit. They don't have to be a certain size. The way we do it that way is because, we have a lot of guys that could do command and stuff through us. And they also do have the chance to promote and grow through their own divisions and whatnot. But I feel like bringing in a group that's already structured, already has a command team, already knows what they're doing, will benefit us by having more staff to give the community more feedback and more activity and more structure that's needed in places that it would be lacking by having, less leadership.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds like you and your team are focused on bringing out the best in people, not so much, dictating or taking them over, but just again, working together for that ultimate experience.
Oh yeah, there's no dictating or taking it over. We're upfront about what we require, and from there, you know, we just kind of, long as you fit in with the way we, our standards and procedures and everything, it's pretty straightforward from there. And we don't require a lot. I mean, just having basic command, you know, active guys, dudes that understand how, our application systems work and stuff like that, and are active with their dudes. And we try to keep the training down to lower numbers because with it being a game, a lot of groups that are like super hardcore have like 5, 6 day long trainings for dudes to even be allowed to play.
Mm,
And we're trying to keep that down. We're trying to keep the tactical level up, of course, but also keep it to where um, dudes have their time to train and then they also have their time to play and they're not just training. That way it's fun for everybody.
yeah,
Each unit is able to do their training however they want, but the way we have it set up is where they're training and learning, but having fun at the same time.
absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. There's a balance to be had, and you got to get it, just about right to really make it enjoyable for everybody. So, let's talk about the gameplay here. So you've got different units here. Big picture, little picture. Can you describe a memorable operation or an event that the 18th or one of your units has participated in recently?
We did one, I think it was last Friday. It was on the Anazay map, and basically the entire division or the 18th Airborne Corps came together using the 82nd, 3rd ID, and 101st, along with 160th SOAR. And the goal was to take over the entire Anazay. It was set up on a conflict PvE setup, so there's already AI spawned. And there was a lot of AI. I mean, these dudes had to work. So we had 3rd ID was starting on the south side of the map, making the way up. We had um, 82nd, they flew in via Black Hawk, dropped in on an airport and secured it and turned it into a main supply point. That way we could have supplies running throughout the map successfully, with 160th Sword being detached between the divisions. So it went pretty successful. I feel like we also did another one last night. We do a lot of pop-ups, so this is what kind of sets us aside from other units is a lot of units will only do deployments or like super structured events and whatnot. We do have the structured events that are like on private servers and stuff, but we also host public ones where all the units will come in and work together. But it's kind of more of like it's faster, it's organized, it gives everyone a good way to train, but it's more fun for everybody.
Hmm.
That's what we did last night. We invited, the public to come in and play. They were tagging along with us, kind of getting a feel for everything. And this is a good way to promote us because one, it seeds our servers up so people see it, they join, they see what we're doing and they like it, and they join the Discord and apply, and then they become part of us. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how we've been growing a lot throughout. So we do have the super structured like the deployments and like where it's like 100% like we're doing it, to standard, and then we have like the nightly or weekend pop-ups that we do where everyone comes in, still maintains with their units and their jobs and everything, but it's open to the public and it's a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I mean, it sounds like it's kind of like a positive feedback mechanism where you're kind of building up your unit, your subunits there, open it up to the public so you guys can work together, build them up, and vice versa there. So really great to hear, and I think that helps explain, how you've grown so quickly in terms of your membership numbers here. Now, we've talked here briefly about, maintaining that balance, keeping the realism and the immersion aspects going, but, keeping it all fun. So, with the private, combat ops and, the public server gameplay, can you get a little bit, deeper into, what the kind of, the calculus is to keeping it balanced?
So we plan everything in advance with how we're going to do it. So we'll let dudes know. I mean, I'd say almost every night, if not every other night, we're doing something public for everybody. And we'll go in, there'll be a time. So it gives everyone time to get their kits and everything ready, all the groups to be together and designated. And then we'll just give up a quick op order with the command and let them kind of run it how they want by completing the objectives that we give to them. And we just go with the flow for that for the more public aspect side of things. But when it goes down to private, we plan things out way in advance. Me and all of the higher command through all the divisions will go through, coordinate what everyone's doing and where, and everything down to where I'm talking like certain phase lines, certain objectives that everyone's hitting at a certain amount of time. That way, everything comes together in the end while maintaining, just being tactically and technically proficient.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, yeah, it sounds like, I mean, you guys obviously you've got a good thing going here. You are, for all intents and purposes, a hardcore realism unit here. So, tell us about the sense of community among the the members here of, 18AX. What's it like to be down on the line with the guys here?
Honestly, it's honestly a good place to be, in my opinion. Even from the command level, I'm still down with the guys doing it. I'm not just, sitting at the top, not communicating with guys. I'm there for everyone. I'm speaking to everybody. I get feedback from everybody, and we take that feedback into, effect. Like some guys were like, "Oh, we should have these mods, or we should do these types of ops," and we listen to our guys. We care about what everyone wants, what everyone thinks, and we base a lot of what we do off of that. That way, it's not just a we're going to do it like this. Everyone has to listen. It's just going to be our way. We want it to be a happy place for everybody. So we base it a lot of what the community desires from us.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean, obviously, if you want to be successful, if you want to maintain that fun, I mean, that's something they teach you in, the basic leader course, that communications is a two-way street. You can give orders, but you got to take the feedback, because that's going to shape your operations, your mission for that matter,
Of course.
just as much. So, um, what about, the lighter side of 18AX? Have there been any funny? I mean, it is Arma, so it's kind of a loaded question here, but in all seriousness, any funny or unexpected moments that have occurred during a training or an operation,
All the
session that
time.
that entered the lore? Oh, yeah, I got to hear it. So tell us about the lore. What has happened in your ops?
I mean, we've had, full MRAPs, loaded with dudes cruising, and an invisible rock pops up and the truck just goes flying out the side of the map, or flips over and dudes' bodies go flying everywhere. Or, we'll have AI that just snipe a helicopter from 2 clicks out with the RPG, and, just little things like that. And we found ways to work around it and make it work. We've, got a lot of fixes, but there's definitely a lot of funny moments. Or like there'll be like, with us using Fallujah, the main base has a lot of walls surrounding it, and newer drivers will, that haven't been with us for too long, they don't know you can't just run into the walls at full speed. So we just watch them hit the wall and everyone in the car dies and it explodes. So it's, stuff like that happens occasionally, and it, gives everybody a good laugh. And then we get right back, turn the switch back on. And we're right back into the game.
Yeah, I have to think about my first time playing Arma 2, Arma 3, Arma Reforger for that matter. Yeah, there's a learning curve that it's a different kind of universe. Very realistic in many aspects, but a little bit challenging in others. But yeah, I mean that's the thing. It sounds like you guys just bounced back. You took it in stride. I mean, now that I think about it, it's all the kind of things that I take for granted as a Zeus or a game master for that matter. Shit happens. You just got to roll with it and
Of course.
pick up where you left off.
And we do pretty good with that. We try to keep it to where if something realistic happens causing a mass cow, then we just, it's in effect. But if it's something that's completely out of the guy's control, we immediately fix it and get it right back to where it was and moving right back to, going back to the objective and knocking it out.
Yep, getting it done. So what about some of the bigger or the kind of like big picture challenges that you've faced? We've talked about some of the issues, some the ups and some of the downs for that matter, but how you guys have rolled with it. What are some of the other challenges in terms of being a unit leader and running the big picture?
I will say 18th Airborne has had a rough start. Yeah, our numbers are good, but numbers aren't everything. When we first started out, we were part of a pretty big public group that run strictly PvP servers.
Mm,
And the biggest issue is the guys that ran it weren't super military. They didn't know military, and they were just being very controlling over how the milsim looked. And the guys that wanted that realism aspect weren't getting it because of how strict it was on us.
mm.
So when we broke away from them, we lost a lot of guys that were dedicated to their servers. So that was the first kind of big issue that we had coming up. And more recently, we had a group that was with us, and they ran one of our most popular units. And unfortunately, we had a couple issues that directly violated our terms of service, and we hold everyone accountable no matter what position you are. So we, handled it the way we felt needed, and a lot of people went with them when they were removed from our group. So right now, we're just getting back on our feet, getting everyone staffed back up and back to the way things were. That way, we can just keep moving along.
Yeah, yeah, it's
We take a lot of pride in how we run it. We want everyone to have fun and not have to, sometimes the game's a person's way to get away from, real life, and they just want to have fun and they don't want to deal with all the extra BS that comes along with it. So we try to filter out any negativity that comes with anything. Of
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it can be challenging with people having different mindsets or different expectations. It's if you think about it, you got kind of like the Hollywood, Milsim experience, and then you got the Pentagon Milsim experience. They're different cultures, different aspirations, different just ways of going about things there. But I mean, you speak to a deeper issue here, and it is a challenge, particularly in with your style of or your unit and your style of leadership here. You don't hold people down. You give them choices, give them options and resources to roll with, and it doesn't always go, according to plan, unfortunately. But
At the
either
end of the
way,
day, it's more of like they benefit. Because at the 18th Airborne command level, to where I'm at and where the rest of my guys, the chain of command are, thinking about it from our aspect, it's not like one group is getting everything. It's everything gets divvied out between everybody, so it's fair. There's no biasness. Say I have a buddy that runs third ID, that it doesn't matter. Everything's going to be fair for everyone that joins, no matter what their size is or what their unit is. It's fair for everybody. That way, everyone benefits the same through us. We've got thousands invested into this, and we're trying to give everyone the opportunity to have access to the things we have and give the community the things that we have to offer. That way, everyone has a good experience on the game.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, what you've described attests to that. And at the end of the day, you are, kind of multiplying, the capabilities of these different units, even if they don't stick around for the long term. Hopefully they're better for the experience, and they've learned what they need to know to kind of make things successful on their own end. But same time, you're out there maintaining your presence, strengthening the community and attracting more people on board. So it's
Of
not
course.
zero sum. Milsim is it's an organism. It's a system. We're always growing and moving, and expanding in different directions.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, what about recruitment and retention? We've spoken a little bit about that at the beginning here, but what kind of recruitment efforts and kind of means do you have in the community? And let's say somebody's listening in and they want to take a deeper look at the unit or your different elements here. What's the best way for them to find you guys?
Through our Discord, we do have a website. I'll gladly give you a link to that after we're finished with this.
Sure. Yeah.
But our Discord is how we run everything. It's super organized the way we have it set up. But say someone wants to join, all they do is join the Discord and put in a ticket. We have, a bot as soon as you join, it tells you the instructions to what you need to do to apply. It's super simple. It's dummy proof, so it's really easy for guys just to go in and apply. And in the ticket, it gives them a chance to kind of explain what they're looking for, what they're wanting to do, what MOS, what unit, some background on them. The units mostly ran by prior service or active duty service members, so we do give benefits to first responders or anyone with a military background. They come in with a higher rank, and because they've put their time in already. But overall, when someone joins, I mean, they just got to put in a ticket, and our staff is really fast. We get right to it.
All right, simple enough. I'll definitely I'll put links to the website and most prominently the Discord server there. So yeah, guys, if you want to see more, go ahead and click those links. Take a look for yourself. Now, what about the broader Milsim community? So we're kind of we're taking a little bit deeper look into all these various topics we kind of brought up at the beginning here. So I mean, you've spoken about some of the units that you've worked with and interacted with and welcomed into the Corps. What else do you have going on in terms of your interactions across the community? What fora are you on there? Kind of making your presence known and interacting with people.
And just our 18th Airborne Corps, or just everyone in general?
Well, yeah. I mean, however deep you want to go here, I'm curious because this is a little bit different in terms of your organization and your ops here. So it's like, how do you guys, make yourselves visible and get in touch, across the internet?
We go through, and a lot of people reach out to us, whether it's through our TikTok or they come to our Discord and request, speak to the command team about having their unit join us. A lot of people hear what we are and just fear, oh, emerge, they're going to poach, they're going to take our people. And that's not what we're looking for, because at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit us. Because say a group joins and we just poach all their dudes and their command doesn't stick around, they're going to go back to their command 'cause that's where they came from. We benefit more when a full command team comes in because they're there, they're dedicated to what they're doing, and they're helping us grow as a whole, which is the ultimate. At the end of the day, that's the goal. We do have public servers that we would like to keep up, kind of how other groups run things, like the 82nd and the 75th. They have their pubs and they also have their private servers for their events. We'd like to get those filled up, because it helps us, find more people. But at the end of the day, everyone has their chance to grow throughout us, how we do everything with the community. Anyone's welcome to join us, as long as they can go along with their standards or procedures.
All right, great. So yeah, I'll get again some that those social media links there, so people can get eyes on for themselves. So let's look forward here. I always ask unit commanders, where do you see yourself or your leadership in the next year? So let's go to summer 2026. Where's 18th Airborne Corps going to be, and what's it going to look like?
Well, we've looked around other groups and kind of looked at our numbers compared to other people. I would say our Discord that we're running out of right now and the group itself, like with 18th Airborne being established, has been around for a little over a month, and we're already at about 400 people. We get about 20 to 30 people joining a day, putting in applications, and whether they stick around or not just depends on the person. And also, if we do have regulations and stuff that people have to follow. But based off our numbers and how we're growing, we definitely feel like we're probably one of the fastest growing groups out there. Going off of numbers, just saying first month alone, having almost 400 people, we'd say by next summer. And I'm only saying this because this is my job. Basically, I feel my job is getting our name out there, recruiting and advertising for us, while all the command guys are doing all the ops and commanding. So I kind of play the numbers game. But for me, I'm taking just a guess by summer of next year, we'd probably be at a 2 or 3 thousand, and that's lowballing it. Just members that are part of the group itself, and we have room for that. That's why we have it set up the way we do with the layout, because with it being 18th Airborne, every division has the ability to add more battalions and more brigades. That way, there's always room for more people to join, and people aren't going to feel like they're just kind of thrown into a spot and forgotten about.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, imagine that. I have interviewed unit leaders, from other groups that have four-digit membership bases there. But that's incredible. Going from 0 to 400 in a month. Obviously, you've got a good thing going here, like I said. So your forecasts here are realistic with just the growth of Milsim in general, Arma Reforger, all the excitement about the other titles like we mentioned here. It's really amazing, and I like to you think about the 18th Airborne Corps in the Army, and it's four divisions and the other brigades and kind of support units there. Imagine if we're even bigger, you had even more units and leadership under you than that. So
Definitely, because
absolutely,
we're also trying to bring in 10th Mountain Division.
yeah,
Once we don't
fill
want
it
to bring
up.
it in yet, just because we don't have enough people. But that's an entire brigade that more people will have the chance to command and being part of. That we haven't even, or not brigade, a division that we haven't even brought in yet. That's coming in the future. So there's so much room for us to grow, and everyone will have a spot. And it'll give everyone a chance to lead. And maybe some dudes just want to be a squad leader, nothing more. Maybe some other dudes want to be a division commander or a battalion commander. It gives everyone a place to become what they would like to be throughout the milsim itself.
Yeah, that's what makes it great. Just having options, having that focus and that vision on balancing the realism and the fun. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I'm looking forward to touching base with you in the future. Seeing taking a look back and seeing how it's all kind of unfolded and developed.
Of course.
Now, what about Milsim Gaming overall? We talked about your unit a year from now. Where do you see the kind of the community going, whether it's a year, 2 years when Arma 4 comes out? It's like, what do you in your mind, what do you expect or what do you want to see in the future of Milsim Gaming?
I'm actually super stoked for it. So our mod team is very good and we make our own mods. A lot of them aren't published yet, just because we're trying to make it to where our name has got a good rep to it and we're not, putting mods out that aren't completely perfect and finished. But the end goal is kind of like a road to Arma 4 for us. And we know when it's coming out. It's coming out, 2027. By then, everything will be 18th Airborne, our mods and everything. We're trying to get away from the bigger mods like RHS and stuff that a lot of console players will struggle with because it's so many, it's like 6 gigabytes worth of stuff, and a lot of people don't even use it. And it limits the ability for console players because we don't want them to feel like they can only play our servers. Maybe some guys want to go play a PvP or hop in with their buddies somewhere else. We don't want them to feel obligated that they can only play with us. And getting rid of a lot of these bigger mods which kind of feel like it's a requirement to have to give people the experience. Getting rid of them will give people the ability to do more than just be with us. Because yeah, it is for having. We are trying to have a good community and have fun here, but it's also not a dictatorship. We want everyone to be able to do whatever they want to do on the game. But for Arma 4 coming out, all of our mods should be done by then. And as soon as it launches with, the modded and community side of everything, we're going to hit the ground running full speed because we'll be 100% prepared for the drop. And we're not going to leave Reforger in the dust. Because I know a lot of dudes probably aren't going to be able to straight up just buy Arma 4 right when it launches. So we are going to maintain the Reforger side of it, but we're going to slowly over time merge into Arma 4 while hitting it at full throttle.
No, that's outstanding, man. I mean, that's looking back at all the Arma titles. Well, in my experience, two, three, Reforger. It's always the community that makes the game what it is. The vanilla titles, I mean, they're good. They've got a lot of potential and a lot of capabilities, but it's the people that come in, that build the units, that install the servers, that create the mods, and develop the content here. That's what makes this game real, or this kind of platform, the flagship for online Milsim gaming. So absolutely
Yeah, of course.
badass. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys got because it's yeah, we got some great mods out there, but some of them are like you said, multi gigs. I remember when Arma 3 came out, it took the better part of 2 years before we had enough mods to really make Milsim what it is now on that title anyway. So you're ahead of the curve, and it sounds like you're not just building the community, you're contributing right back into it. So I can't
Of
wait to see
course.
what you
And
guys got going.
yeah, and then the way with Infusion is and everything, it just works great because, based off of stuff that, Infusion Bohemia that they've put out, it seems like we'll be able to convert any mod into the workshop of Arma 4.
Hmm.
Long as it'll probably have to be changed and altered a little bit for their platform because I'm sure they're adding a lot of stuff. But we're prepped for that and we're ready to hit it and get it going right away. That way, no one's sitting around waiting on all the mods to come out. Says we already have them ready because a lot of people, like, yeah, the vanilla is cool and some people really enjoy that and that's great. But I feel like the biggest part of Arma is their community and modded side of it because it gives that realism aspect that people are wanting. You know, the modern stuff that people want.
Yeah, you nailed it right there. So absolutely. So yeah, it's great to have you as part of the community and building it up, and making it what it is.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, I gotta turn it back on you a little bit here, General. So, we talked about your kind of start in Milsim, the development of 18th over the past month. What is it about Milsim gaming that you really enjoy? What is it that makes you to come back and keep it going like this?
The community 100% all the way is the reason why we put in the amount of effort, time, and money that we do into this is because it gives everybody the experience that they're looking for. It's not about just being, the big man that runs everything, you know, and that's kind of how we have it structured too. Um, being a lot of mill sims have brought up like, oh, you're a general and you only have a set amount of people. It's just we have it laid out already for every spot to get filled. Just through the chain of command. So that way we don't have to make big alters, in the future. That there's already a place for everybody. We won't have to make big changes. Um, and the community likes that so far. They like that there's a place for everything, and that's what keeps us going. That's what makes us want to keep doing this is having the such a strong community. Having positive feedback all the time, and sometimes I just go in my game, and we're not even doing any ops like a public session, and guys will come up and be like, "Man, like I just love playing in here. Me and my guys love it. We love the way the mods are set up and the operations, and they don't even care if the server's populated or not. They're just in there having a good time, and that's what makes us want to keep doing this.
Yep, yep. Just chilling with like-minded people. Just kind of there's something about it. Yeah, I guess you got to get into it to understand it. But yeah, if you're into that, it sounds like you got the bill. It's already built up. You just you gotta find the right people to fill those positions. So a
Of
lot of
course.
opportunities for others. And right here in the audience, guys. I mean, if you're looking to get into Reforger Milsim and you're not sure where to start, hey, take a look. Snuchen here has got a lot of good stuff going, like we've been talking about.
Yeah, and even smaller units that are looking for an easy way to start growing really fast or become part of something bigger can always hit me up on Discord, DM me directly,
Hey,
and we can work something out for anybody.
outstanding. So, what about your personal dream operation or mission? Let's say I mean, Reforger, Arma 4, maybe one day, a couple years from now. Like, if you could make the ultimate mission, what would it look like?
Man, I was not ready for that question. It's I just want something where it comes together very smoothly and everyone has a place. I don't want dudes to feel like yeah, there's a lot of ops that happen and maybe not everyone gets their time to shine, their way to, put in what they do. We want everyone to have something they're doing, feel like they're needed in every position. So over time, we're learning how to run ops better and more coordination. And in the future, we just want everyone to feel like they have their place and they know the mission and they actually get to have fun. And I feel like currently everyone does. There's a lot for everyone to do, but we just want to make it smoother in the future and more available for everybody.
Hmm. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, I mean, obviously you run a tight shop here, but it's not. You've got a lot of room for growth, for development, for culture. For each different units or divisions, own kind of subcultures there. In terms of like the 18th Airborne kind of big picture here, do you guys have any traditions that you developed since you started? Any kind of rituals that it's like let's get more into the lore here. What's kind of unique to the unit that you're willing to share with us?
I don't think anything specific really for lore wise. I feel like the biggest thing is just a lot of units, even really big ones that are way bigger than us, they don't give people the opportunity to move up and have a position where they're, in charge of a lot of dudes and can really show their full potential. I feel like that's the biggest thing that we have to offer is everybody will have a spot in any position that they are fit for. Obviously you're going to have to go through a process of, we'll interview and talk to you and because we got to make sure dudes in command positions are, qualified for it and
Yep.
active enough. But if you can meet those requirements, which really aren't a whole lot, just being active every day and being able to use Discord and start ops and whatnot, it gives everyone a chance to become more than just the average Joe that joins a Milsim and stays a private forever or doesn't isn't able to move up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, definitely. Personally, just speaking back to my experiences with Third ID, it's like I knew that once I got a taste of it and I kind of figured out what I was doing, that I wanted to learn more about leadership, about just contributing and helping development, just bringing out the best in everyone, like we've been talking about here. So yeah, it's important. Yeah, that you maintain that and that other guys they take those opportunities and see what they can't get done because you might just enjoy it at the end of the day because a lot of people do and it really it makes it fun for everyone else as well.
Yeah, I strongly agree with you on that.
So good shit. I mean, yeah, we have covered a lot here. Young up and coming unit that is just hit the ground running. You're going, full speed across a battle space here. Really exciting to see. And again, it's another testament to the potential that we've got. Not just in Arma Reforger, but in the community as a whole. So, with all that in mind, I gotta ask you, like, one of the fun questions here. I do this to all the unit leaders, any leadership teams that we have on here for the podcast. Let's say that, 18th Airborne Corps was going to Hollywood. What military movie or TV show or miniseries for that matter do you think best captures the spirit of your unit?
Um, well, based off of what we do, most of our stuff is desert. Desert Storm or GWAT type of stuff is kind of what we go for our setting and everything. And I feel like a lot of our ops and everything go related to that. We've done Desert Storm types of events. We've done Black Hawk Down.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like we could be in any of those movies that are, Hollywood style, I guess, would be maybe like Jarhead, even though it's Marines, we're out in the desert just enjoying the suck, making the best of it.
Yep.
There's all the funny moments just like there are in Jarhead, and I feel like that one would be a decent one.
Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like we were saying, ups and downs, goods and bads there. But that's pretty funny. Now, what
Yeah,
about
man.
your interaction personally, and the with the unit here, 18AX and Milsim units. So I mean, obviously, you guys are one of our tier 1 subscribers here. We're trying to give you all the benefits that we have available. To boost your unit and make you more present in the community. How's it been for you? It's like, what have we done that's helped, and what do you think that we could do, to help you even further?
I think you guys have done a great job. I mean, I got recommended to use you guys through an owner of another milsim that we're kind of partnered up with, and I bought the subscription through you guys because, like, what, we could kind of use the boost. This is when we were like fresh,
Hmm.
and within minutes of me purchasing it, I had a DM from LaFlash, and it's like your staff was super responsive. And anytime I have anything with, you know, regarding moderation or staff with you guys are super friendly about it and super fast, and it's really appreciated.
Well, I certainly appreciate hearing that. I mean, like you said, it's all about the community. That's why I do it. That's a big motivation for LaFlash as well. The whole team here, we just want to see people come together, have a great time, and make something that you're just not going to get in most online gaming titles. So,
Yeah,
whatever we
of
can do to
course.
help.
Yeah, and we always recommend, guys that join us to, I mean, all of our extra servers that we have are, not extra, but all of our division servers, they also have a place on Milsim units. So it's giving more units that show up on there, and maybe someone's on there and they don't necessarily know what the 18th Airborne Corps is, but they know what 82nd is or 101st, and they join us through that. It's the same exact process, and it gives more reach out there, more units on the pages, and just overall can bring more attention.
Yeah, you said it all right there. That's what we're aiming for. Get that collaboration, that communication going. Just get people together because it's going to explode. Milsim is on fire right now, and it's just getting started. So I can't wait to see what comes about in 2026, and then when Armor 4 launches in 2027, man, it's going to be amazing. So
I think
um,
Arma 4 is gonna be the biggest drop for a while. I think
yeah,
everyone's really excited for it, and I think that's gonna. I think the biggest thing with Arma 4 is going to be being that first group that's completely set up and ready to go and getting people in and putting our name out there.
Hmm.
That's basically what we're setting up for. As soon as it launches, I've already spoken with the server hosts we use. They're going to have servers already ready to go for Arma 4, and everything's just going to be just ready to hit the ground. And I think that's going to boost our success by a lot.
Excellent. Well, yeah, and whatever you do to support, shoot us a DM, open up a support ticket. Let us know what you need from us, and we're happy to work with you. And again, I can't wait to see what the future brings.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, Snuchen, it has been outstanding podcast here. I've learned a lot. I know that our audience has learned a lot about what you got going in 18th Airborne Corps. Um, with everything we've gone over, is there anything that you want to mention, anything you want to throw out there to the audience that we haven't, brought up yet that you want them to know about the Corps or any of your divisions?
Just overall, anyone that's listening that has a smaller unit or wants to be put out there, feel free to hit up my DMs. You can message me through Discord, and we can try to work something out. I feel like everyone deserves a good boost and a way to get their name out there. Um, Easy way for everyone to grow and just grow the community all together is one.
Absolutely. Well, good shit, General. I appreciate your time here today. Another great podcast. And seriously, I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with you and seeing what you got going here as we move into the future of Milsim.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future and seeing what it holds for everybody.
Good shit. All right, ladies and gents. Well, that is another great podcast here at milsimunits.com. Again, check those links below. Get on the 18th Airborne Corps Discord. Check out their website. Take a look at all that social media. They got a lot of good eye candy there that you want to check out. And you know where to go to if you want to learn more. You want to send in an application. Talk with Snuchen here, one of his men. They'll get you squared away. So until next time. This is Seabrock signing off.